which gives more return on investment? Which one is like high risk, which has more mortality rate?
Still poultry.
Okay.
Still poultry, right? Because I think one of the major things that can lead to high risk in catfish farming should be poor water management, right? Disease outbreak,
Which of them requires more attention? The poultry farming or the farming? But which would you say is more capital intensive? Poultry farming or catfish farming? Which would you say is more labor intensive? The catfish farming or the poultry farming? Hello, good morning. Today I'm with Farmer Mimi of Adimike Farms in Lagos, and today, so I'm trying to do a comparison. I'm trying to find out which is more profitable, catfish farming or poultry farming, and Farmer Mimi does both. So yes, I think we should just get right into it. Good morning.
Hi, good
Mimi.
morning.
Thank you so much for having me on the farm today. I have plenty questions, so
okay. let's go.
I hope I can start.
Yeah, sure.
So my first question for you is, how long have you been in farming for?
I would say 4.5 years. We started 2020, so November 2025 will make it 5 years approximately we entered farming.
Wow, you're doing an amazing job.
Thank
And
you.
I know that you run this farm with your mom as well. You're a
Yes,
co-founder. Okay, that's great. What's the biggest challenge you are currently facing, or should I say like 2 to 3 challenges you are currently facing now as a catfish and poultry farmer in Nigeria?
I would say cost of feed, it fluctuates all the time. Daily, weekly, there's always something up with the price of feed. Then also transportation, right? Because of the increment of fuel, it also mortality, but that is also dependent on biosecurity. But most times you might have a disease outbreak. So I think those three are like one of our major concerns.
So the cost of feed, cost of logistics, transportation,
Yes,
and the
please.
mortality rate.
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. What would you say like are your highlights of being a farmer in Nigeria?
I think number one should be serving the community,
Okay.
right? Number two should be connecting with other farmers. Because when I started, I never knew that there was a huge community behind farming. I feel like those two are my major highlight. And watching the chicks grow each cycle, right? When you have your broilers, they grow, they come in. It's a roller coaster of emotions, but yeah.
Why did you choose farming?
Should I say it's a calling? Because after school, it just came to me naturally. So I don't know.
Okay. So can you share like 3 revenue streams, like 3 ways poultry farmers can make money in Nigeria?
Oh yeah. Let's say for example, like myself, you're doing integrated farming in poultry where you have your layer section, broiler section, which is your meat production, and also your turkey. All right. For your layers, you can generate income by the laying of eggs. You can also roast them or sell them as old layers. Now for your broilers, for your meat production, you can also sell them for meat production. You can roast them, all right, and yeah, you can also smoke them and send them abroad. Likewise for turkey. So even what are they calling, manure? That is
You can also make money from that
your
as
manure.
well,
Oh,
Abi.
yes, you can.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
What for catfish farming?
For catfish farming, you can raise money by smoking them,
Okay.
or selling them. You can raise money by smoking them or selling them live. They are more profitable when you sell them in bulk, especially either smoked or live catfish. Yes, sir.
Okay. How big is your team? Like, how many employees do you currently have?
This is a family business. I don't know. I don't know what you're missing. It's just us at the farm. It's a family business.
Wow.
So it's just me, my mom, my cousin, my brother. We put our backs into it. So yeah.
How many birds do you have?
In total, we have roughly like 2,000.
Okay. And how many fishes do you have?
We have 5,000, but we sold 1,000, so we are left with roughly 3,000 to 4,000.
And it's just you guys?
Yes, please.
Wow. You are so. I went to your Instagram page and I was like, what? you're so knowledgeable about what you do.
Yeah.
And I was just like thinking, did you have to go through like any trainings or anything to, gather all the knowledge and experience? Oh well, so at least to gather all the knowledge that you have.
I think in farming it's an everyday exercise where you have to gain knowledge, right? I didn't go for any training in particular apart from when we first started, because we bought our beds from a farmer that wanted to relocate abroad, so he put us through in, do you understand, some day to day, but every day I'm always reading about something, I'm always watching a video, I'm always researching. It's constant, you can't stop.
Because you actually really, I mean, like the day I went to your page on Instagram, I was just like, wow, well
It's
done,
constant.
well
Thank
done,
you.
well done. So, which would you say is more capital intensive, poultry farming or catfish farming? Sorry,
Poultry.
poultry, really,
Poultry.
because of the feed or
There are so many factors that made me come up to this conclusion, right? But it's still depending on your capacity. Let's say for catfish, if you're doing over 5,000 and you're doing probably just 500 layers,
okay,
can you see?
Yeah.
But if they are both on the same capacity, let's say for example you have 500 catfish and you have 500 layers, the layers will consume more than your catfish.
Oh, okay. So fewer birds will consume more. Like if you have 500 birds,
Yeah.
they'll most likely consume more than maybe what 2,000 catfishes will consume.
Yes, because for your catfish, right, you can have alternative feeding method. You can either give them the maggots, you can give them let's say carcass from your chicken, but you can't do that with your layers. You have to give them the formulated feed. It's constant, right? And every week we spend over 700,000 on feed alone for the layers.
You spend over 700,000 on feeding per week.
Per week on the layers.
Wow. So that's like you're spending close to 3 million per month.
Per month, roughly. Because we have to make sure we buy the feeds in bulk. That will help. Yeah.
Okay. Which would you say is more labor intensive, the catfish farming or the poultry farming?
Poultry farming. It's definitely poultry farming.
Looking like this poultry farming has all the wahala.
It's most definitely poultry farming. I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah.
Wow. It's more capital intensive and it's more labor intensive as well. Okay. Which of them requires more attention? The poultry farming or the catfish farming?
Should I say both of them?
Okay.
Right, because I believe that both of them are livestock, right? So you have to pay attention to the both of them. So I would say there should be a tie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Which one is like high risk? Which has more mortality rate?
Still poultry.
Okay.
Still poultry, right? Because I think one of the major things that can lead to high risk in catfish farming should be poor water management, right? Disease outbreak, which is, do you understand, and mortality. Unlike layers, it could be anything, and your birds are dying in numbers. So.
Because I have a cousin that the way he just said, I think he lost like 200 the first day. By the second day, he just lost another set.
It is a widespread. It doesn't, catfish, you can still see them drop probably, do you understand, one. But the other one, it wipes it off completely. Yes.
Okay. Which gives more return on investment? Would you say is catfish farming or the poultry farming?
Still depending on the aspect you're doing, right? Let's say for broilers, it takes broilers 6 to 8 weeks for it to get to the market value. Okay, so 6 to 8 weeks you're ready to sell your broilers. Catfish, it takes them 4 to 6 months for them to get to 1 kg and above. Okay, while for layers farming, it takes them another 5 to 6 months for them to start dropping, but they lay for the next 18 months.
So I guess
Right.
so. All those
So
factors,
broilers are the best when it comes to return on investment.
like if you want like quick return on investment, then
you
you go for the broilers.
Yes.
Okay. So my next question would be, really, I even need at this point I need to ask you: have you ever done before poultry? Had you ever done any business before?
Yeah. I graduated as a botany student, so I used to extract oil from plants.
Okay.
Yeah, right. So that even puts me in the business line.
Okay.
Okay. So when we entered poultry farming, I just went to it from there.
So you were actually doing like oil extraction before?
Before.
Because when I was like, this your business sense is on another level. Because
I'm
really,
an Igbo girl. I'm an Igbo girl.
Okay. What do you love most about being a farmer?
I should use everything and the money.
Okay, money aside, like if you were not thinking money, what would you say, keeps you going in
I think
farming?
the nurturing part, because I feel like as women we are natural,
Yeah, I agree
right?
with you.
So the nurture part is, it just comes as second as best. I don't have to like put in so much effort when it comes to taking care of them, making sure that they eat organic food. Do you understand?
It's like second nature.
Yeah, I'm like their mother practically.
Okay. What would you advise? What are the 3 things that you think that every catfish or poultry farmer should do as they expand, as they grow, as the business grows?
Oh, okay, one thing you should do is you should never eat or spend your profits. Right? The goal is to expand. The goal is to get bigger every year. Do you understand? So anytime you're done selling or you're done marketing, please take out a larger chunk of your profit and put it back into your business. That's how you grow. That's how you stay consistent. If not, it just goes down the drain, right? So always make sure that whenever you're done with a cycle of production, put it back into your business. Okay, your reward will be later. Okay, but always make sure you do that.
Delayed gratification.
Yes.
Okay. Any other advice?
Oh, you can never stop learning. Okay, like I said, you have to always make sure you can. Yeah, you might know a method today, but that method might not work tomorrow. Okay, there are always new things, and the good thing about this like the generation that we are is the use of AI. So it helps. Do you understand? It makes farming easier. It makes farming better. Okay, you can just put in your prompt and it gives you so many ideas. Don't just stop at probably what you learned from someone. Always make sure you enhance your skill and tone your skill.
So constant learning and using AI to grow, to get knowledge for your business. Because really, I'm sure that most farmers, they are just locked up on the farm trying to make sure that their livestock, their produce is just fine. Sometimes they don't know that that aspect of technology and just investing in that is so important. Very. That's actually very important to know. What are 3 things that poultry farmers can do to reduce mortality rates on their farms?
I think first and foremost that will be about security. Okay, your biosecurity is very, very important. You have to make sure that, let's say for example, your brooding area has to be very clean. You have to make sure it's well disinfected. Okay, you have to make sure that your chicks are well taken care of. You have to make sure that you probably reduce the amount of people that go in and out of your farm. Okay, cleanliness in poultry is next to godliness. It is as simple as that.
Okay.
Right? Why for your catfish farming, your water quality, I will say one thing to catfish farmers, because I always have these questions all the time. They say, oh, I kept catfish, fingerlings or juveniles, and they keep dying. You can't go into catfish business without testing your water first. Right? You have to make sure you do a water analysis test. You have to make sure that both the biological, chemical, and physical properties are okay for your catfish to go and thrive in, because that is 70%. Your water is 70% of their production. Okay.
So test your water.
Test your water.
You know that you have ebooks for farmers.
Yes.
Can you tell us, something about it?
Yes. So right now the only one we've released, and I'm apologizing especially to my followers, is the one on broilers. Okay. So I gave them the A to Z on broiler farming, how to set up, the cost benefit analysis, medication, especially natural remedies. Since I'm a botanist, I'm a big fan of natural remedies. Okay, the use of moringa, the use of zobo, the use of bitter leaf, all these things, dongoyaro. These are things you can easily get around. I don't like all this, what do they call it? This pharmacy, yeah, is I feel like that's so outdated. Okay, so the use of natural remedies, that also helps when it comes to.
So if you're interested in the ebook, I think we'll just leave we'll leave a link in the description.
Please
so you
do.
can reach out to Farmer Mimi and get your ebook.
Yeah.
I know that farming can be really, really, really demanding. How do you find time to relax? And what do you do to relax?
Netflix. Netflix. I don't have a social life. Right, I believe that I lived most of that life in my university days, right?
Okay.
So right now I'm all business, and I can watch Netflix for the next. It's always a binge, right? I keep watching movies
for hours.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you run any trainings? I know you do consultations, farm consultations,
Yeah.
but do you also run any trainings on the side for people that want to start small? They want to start farming small the way that you did.
Yeah, sure. So due to the fact that we do integrated farming, right, most classes I say they're always one-on-one. I've not had a general class for people, right? So I always do one-on-one because that one can help me with time management. Maybe with time, yeah, we can do a general class, but I always take one-on-one classes with my students.
To them.
Yeah.